Hey, everybody. Okay, well, the information that I'm about to give you is not exactly something that I'm thrilled to give. Um, I'm actually quite pissed off, to be honest with you. Um, I'm not feeling very positive today, not feeling very happy today. I feel like this is never going to end. Every day that goes by, there are more and more people that are getting involved. If this doesn't get shut down soon, I don't know what's going to happen. If this doesn't come to an end soon, I don't know what's going to happen. Because I'm seriously don't know how much more of this fucking bullshit I can take. And that is the bottom line. So I'm going to read to you exactly the information that was given to me. This is hard for even me to understand, and I can't imagine how it's going to come across to everybody else, because if it's hard for me to understand, I can't even imagine how it must be for others. But here we go. I am 47 years old. The reason that my grandfather, Martin Lane, was unalived is because he was taking pictures to the police. There were no baby pictures of me taken with my grandfather. Those pictures that I had that I thought were me with my grandfather were actually Sandy. They weren't me. That was one of the ways that they gaslit me into thinking that I was born in 69 when that is not the truth. Grandpa knew that things weren't adding up, and he was really close to figuring it all out. But after he died, after he was unalived, everything was just dropped. Nobody went further into it. Nobody looked into anything further. And so it just continued on with the gaslighting. My grandmother, Isabel Lane Berry, was actually involved in the gaslighting. She was paid. There was a time when I was living with my grandparents that I told my grandma that Sandy was not my mom. This particular time that I told my grandmother this, she showed me a picture of Sandy, and I said, no, that's not my mom. This is when Dave and Sandy came for me and took me away from my grandparents permanently. Grandma was involved. There were so many people involved in gaslighting me that they were getting confused on who told me what. I remember being very, very young and being put on a bus and sent to my grandparents' house. My grandmother picked me up. It was very late at night or early in the morning. That's when she started to mind melt me with her tricks and her gaslighting. She was paid to hurt my mind to keep me from knowing the truth. I was given psych drugs to keep me from thinking straight. They couldn't figure out how I was able to overcome and still knew things. They took me to the doctors and told the doctors that I was acting out so that they would give me drugs that would sedate me. They were at a loss with me because I still knew things that I shouldn't know. There was a time they took me to a toy store, And I picked out a toy that I actually had with my real mom. They didn't let me have it because they were afraid that it would jog my memory. They kept me secluded from others to keep an eye on me. There was a time when I lived in the apartments across from my aunt and uncle, Marvel and Jean, that I was left by myself daily, the entire day, from morning to after dinner, most of the days. They were trying to create so much instability and worry. I only ate one meal a day. Sandy would give me $3 and I would iron everything in the house. And I would go to Taco Bell every day and get my meal for the day. They were doing this in hopes that I would do something to myself, that I would harm myself or hurt myself. But what they didn't realize is that I liked being alone, because being around the people that I was with in my life was very traumatic. So being by myself was a reprieve from them, and I rather enjoyed being alone. They used to fight on purpose, and then make me think that it was my fault, that it was because of me that they were fighting. But then the fighting got real between Dave and Sandy. And that's when Dave tried to throw Sandy off the third floor balcony of the apartment complex. He also tried to drown her in the bathtub in front of me. They got so mad that they had to stop the fighting, or they quite literally would have unalived each other. The family told them to let it go, to let it be, or they would end up losing me to Child Protective Services. We moved at that point to keep me further isolated. They moved timelines to make me think that I was older than I was. I was just a little over 3 years old when they took me to the Masons for the Zosting. They tried to make me think that I was 7 at the time. To wake me up to things that they were asking me to do. They would ask me to move things with my mind. And if I didn't do it, they would shock me. Until I got mad enough to do it. They underestimated me. And I actually threw a soda machine at one of them, and he died. They would hurt me to make me hurt animals. They made me kill a pig and then take it to slaughter, and then they made me eat it. I remembered in my psyche about this thing with animals, this love that I have for animals. And for a long time, I wouldn't even eat meat because of this. They would try to make me hurt dogs, but I wouldn't do it no matter what they did to me. I wouldn't do it. Okay, so this information that I'm about to tell you is rather disturbing for me. And this is a trigger warning. Whew, okay. That should be done enough time. Trigger warning, 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 warning. My, I don't know what to call him, my grandson, who was actually fathered by my ex-husband with my daughter, my oldest daughter. My grandson, Roki. was unalived by his grandfather, Tim Barber. And Tim did this in order to get back into the cult in Grand Junction, Colorado. Tim is being charged with doing sexual things to my grandson. He was caught by his wife sucking on something that he shouldn't have been. She went to the police, but they didn't do anything. Status quo for Grand Junction Police Department. He's being charged with the sexual assault, and he's also being charged with unaliving Roque. He is also being charged with getting a minor pregnant. That minor was me. I was not 18 years old when I gave birth. I was barely a teenager when I gave birth. He was told that I was 18. I was under the impression that I was 18. I wasn't. He was paid to get me pregnant. I'm being told that I was 12 when I got pregnant. Apparently, Tim is now telling the feds everything that they have done, that the cult has done to me to keep me from having a normal life. The FBI can't believe how much that I've endured and overcome and still keep moving forward with my life. The FBI thinks that I am an earth, that I am an angel sent to earth to stop human trafficking. And they're right. I am. But FBI, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I have been pushed and pushed and pushed to my limits. I am at my limit. I'm being fucked with at my job. I had to threaten to call the labor board in order to get paid for lunches that I don't get to take. I haven't been paid for the lunches that I didn't get to take when I was working in Crockett. And now I have to fight to get paid for lunches that I don't get to take in Trinity. There are people at my job that have been paid to try to get me fired. Every day, something new comes up. Every day, there's more. There's this, there's that. I was promised a raise. I was promised a raise when I went full time. Well, here's the kicker. Nobody bothered to tell me that I went full time until my birthday rolled around. And I had to get a hold of somebody to find out when or how I would get paid for my birthday, because it's supposed to be a perk. But it's a perk only if you're a full-time employee. I had to learn that I was a full-time employee, the payroll department in El Campo, because nobody told me that I was full-time in Crockett. And here we are 2 months later to the day, 2 months to the day of me finding out that I went full-time, and still have not heard a word about my raise that I was supposed to get when I went full-time. There's no communication. I was basically told that I didn't matter the other day. We have locked doors that go back to the emergency room. And it wasn't locked because the girl that works ahead of me said, oh, it can stay unlocked. as long as we're here, but we have to lock it when we leave. Well, she didn't tell me that the door was supposed to be locked. And when it wasn't locked, I was told that if it wasn't locked again, that we would be written up. I would be written up for the door not being locked, because they need to keep the people behind those doors safe. Well, what about me on the other side of that door? Where's my safety? If somebody were to come in with a gun, there isn't anywhere I could even run to. There isn't anywhere I can go. There's only one way out, and that's through the front door, or put in a code to try to get through the other door. How well do you think that's going to work in a situation where there's a gun? I am sick and tired of being treated like shit. I am sick and tired of people thinking that I matter. I matter more than you can ever fucking imagine. And I'm tired. I am sick and tired of this shit that I'm having to endure when it doesn't have to be this way anymore. Get your shit together and get this done already, because I can't take anymore. Do you understand me? I'm done messing around. Do something. Do something. Every day there's more and more people being involved, harassing me. Can't even fucking live in my own house without being fucking harassed. Do something. I'm sorry, but I'm done. I'm done. What if this was your daughter? What if this was you? How quickly would you turn the tables if this was somebody that you loved, if this is somebody that you cared about? Because right now I don't feel like anybody gives a shit about me. I'm angry and I'm hurt today. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked that my grandmother was involved, and I'm shocked that Tim Barber is involved, and I'm shocked beyond any amount that I can tell you. I'm shocked. It's a lot. It's a lot for a person to take. I have done my best to keep my cool. I've done my best to try to stay as positive as I can stay. But I gotta tell you, folks, I am about reached my limit, what I can take. Please do something. Please do something now. I gotta go before I say something that I'm really gonna regret, because I'm really not in the greatest frame of mind right now. Please love each other. Love yourselves. You know that I love you.